Illawarra! Illawarra! And people don't believe in Wollongong, doubt us all year. You better start believing because we'll be back next year.
Ball driving. 7 seconds left. He pulls the trigger. Big shot taker. Big shot maker. Tyler Harvey enormous.
Yes, what is going on? And welcome back to the Hawks Hangout, your one-stop shop for everything Hawks content. Corey, can you believe it? It has been officially 1 year. 1 year since we began this absolutely beautiful and epic, glorious journey of the Hawks Hangout. Mate, it's been crazy.
It's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a great journey. It was awesome that the boys are able to win in that first season after 24 years of not being able to get that championship, and we can actually do a little bit of chip talk now. But it was actually super exciting that we started this thing, and in that year that we started it, they won the title. We'll never forget that, so it's always going to be etched in our memories. But today's episode, we're going to look at a variety of different things. We're going to look at the review of that Brisbane victory and the review of the 2 losses against Melbourne United and Adelaide 36ers. We'll do a preview of the Christmas Day banger against the Sydney Queens. We'll do our regular segments of Are You Serious? Yeah, nah, and hashtag and all the rest of it. So let's get straight into it with that victory against Brisbane, 100-85. Now, straight up, I'm going to say, this was a win and a comprehensive 15-point win, but I'm going to say it's got to be the most stressful 15-point win I think I've ever seen. And probably, I don't think we played great, but at the end of the day, if you look at the score, you go, oh, yeah, the Hawks won, they won easy, but it definitely was not that type of game. Break it down for me, bud.
It was a battle of different halves. Like Brisbane were down early. They came out. We had a 10-point lead. It was 33-23.
Other way around.
Oh,
we were down early, yeah.
We were down early, 33-23. We finished strong on a 29-17 run.
Yeah, to finish that fourth quarter. But we looked very ordinary early on, and Brisbane came out and they had a couple of guys. I think Matthias, he can shoot the ball. Yeah. Hit a couple of shots early, looked good, and he got injured. I think that was probably a key moment in the game that people probably didn't really realise, because he's not a big name or anything, but the dude can flat out shoot. He's a great guy to have in your rotation, and because they were down a few troops and stuff, he got some minutes early, hit some shots. He can really shoot the ball nicely. And I'm not going to lie, I was very worried early, 33-23 down, but we creeped our way back, got ourselves into the game, and really it came the end of the last 3 minutes, and it was still very tight. It was 84-83, and you know what got us home?
Well,
Freddie.
Yeah.
You bring on Freddie. Freddie Mercury gets the job done. We lift. The crowd gets into it. We come out of that timeout, and we finish the game on a 16-2 run. 84-83 up, 16-2 run to win 100-85. Absolutely incredible. But let's have a look at some of the individual performances, mate. Like, what do you think?
McGee, again, a double-double machine, another 30-piece, and he had a huge 10 rebounds to go along with it. It's ridiculous seeing him go to work. When he actually does go to work, and Corey, when he wants to come to work, and we'll explain a little bit more about our predictions and predicaments with that little statement there a little bit later on, but Hickey, again, not really flirting with a triple-double, but flirting with a double-double, which is still absolutely impressive. From a guy who's come from nothing to winning an NBL championship to now averaging almost a triple-double. He finished the game with 18, 8, and 3. Harvey, typical unselfish basketball, making the points when he needed to, 17, 1, and 5. Peatling, 6, 7, and 6. 6 and 7. I deliberately did that. Deliberately. Peterson, 19, 5, and 8. But the biggest one, Corey, our man, the golden boy himself, Toddy Blanchfield. Donuts, 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 donuts.
It's killing me. And we talked about in the previous podcast about how we just need that spark from Toddy, and he's the guy who can provide it. And funnily enough, in the next game, he did actually find a little bit of form, and it actually really did spark us.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on from that Brisbane victory. Now we're going to look at that Melbourne game. Unfortunately, went down 97-75, but pretty similar to that Brisbane game. It didn't really feel like that. Like, we were right in this game for 3 quarters. Again, we were down early, but fought back. And it was on the back of Toddy. Toddy finally hit a 3, hit another one, got a 2. He had 8 points in about a minute and a half, and he was feeling good about himself. And I'm like, is this going to be the game where Toddy gets us out of some trouble here? And then the brakes got put on in the fourth quarter. 23-8, 8 points in the last quarter.
Can't be doing that. You can't be scoring 8 points in a quarter.
I know, and you were excited. I remember we watched the end of the third quarter. We were on your favourite score, 6-7, and then only to get to 75. It's not ideal. And full credit to Melbourne, because they were down a couple of troops. No CG43.
Shea goes down with an injury.
Goes down, and he played 8 minutes. He looked filthy. He may not be back for the rest of the year. He looked like he wasn't happy when he stormed off. Yeah, it just, disappointing for them. Like, I thought Walker for them was great. Again, he seems to save his best games for us. Often, I'm sure there was a stat where he missed 23s in a row, and then during the season, and then he couldn't miss again when he plays against us. He had 21 and 10. That's a really impressive stat line for a point guard. He's a type of point guard that I really think the Hawks need to focus on recruiting. We'll talk a little bit more about this later. I think we need a point guard like that, a pure point guard who can, when needed, score, but priority is to get other people involved, dish out those 8 to 10 assists a game, be really strong defensively. He's super disruptive. He loves getting steals. I thought he was great, and I think that's the sort of guy we need looking at recruiting for our next season. What were some of the good performances for the Hawks, mate?
For the Hawks, as you said, the main one's got to go out, and a big, massive shout out to him because he finally lifted. We saw a little bit of that vintageness. 12-7 for our man, TB, Toddy Blanchfield, throwing the clock back. He hit the one, and it was absolutely smooth and beautiful. And I was like, here we go. He's hit one. Hits another one straight off the back. I was like, okay.
You just knew it, though. Once one went down, it was going to happen.
It was going to happen eventually. But he finished the game with 12-7. Hickey, 9, 3, and 6. Harvey, 18, 3, and 3. McGee, 18 and 10.
Solid double-double. Like,
besides those guys, there was dribs and drabs. 3s, 5s, 4s, 2s, Wani with nothing again. Really something that was disappointing, and Damon Lowry mentioned it, and a few of the experts around basketball lately have mentioned it. Wani going from 4 NBL championships, being 24 years old, having all of this experience, being a pivotal piece to the Hawks last year, and now starting the season in a real slump. The ball really hasn't been getting into Wani's hands a lot, and it's been really difficult for the Hawks to try and manage all of these different rotations through injuries, through sickness, through departing players, through players not being able to play due to other illnesses and injuries or whatever circumstances they are. It's just really been a tumultuous season that this game really didn't sum up the best of what the Hawks could do, in my personal opinion.
I agree, but we were in that game for 3 quarters and we could have really snatched it. And Melbourne were on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. They had their doubts, and when they had that big lead and we brought it back, I think they were at like 15 at one stage. I'm pretty sure it was 41-26. We chipped it all the way back, and we were like, when that happens, the team that had a 4 game losing streak have some self-doubt about themselves and whether they can get the job done. It was a prime opportunity to like take advantage of that. We just couldn't get it done, and they just turned on their defense a little bit, but we just were really, really poor offensively. Again, we looked very slow. We just often look like we're forcing it into McGee with poor passes that lead to intercepts and fast breaks and easy points for the opposition. it's just really, really frustrating. But I'm going to say this. We're going to move on to the next game, Adelaide. And you just mentioned Wani, but Wani was outstanding in this game. Probably the best game we've seen. And we were at the brewery before this game started. We heard the news came in, McGee's out. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see how we go. We might be able to change our style of play up. Like players might feel less like they have to force it into McGee. Then we hear Harvey's out. And I'm like, oh, God. Like,
coming up against the top team in the
what's the chances? I actually went into the game quite relaxed, thinking we're not really much of a drop, but I was actually interested to see how the players would react. These young guys who have been getting a little bit of minutes here and there, but when they come on, not really feeling like, oh my God, when I'm on, I have to just feed it to Harvey, have to feed it to McGee. Like, let them just play with a little bit more freedom and see what happens. Like, we've seen it before. Like, we've played teams undermanned and we've lost.
Yep.
So it can happen, and it does happen a lot in the NBL. Like, it's hard for a team to do it consistently and get 5 or 6 wins in that undermanned group, but it can happen in a one-off game where they're feeling really good about themselves and they catch a team who takes them a little bit like that doesn't respect them and takes them lightly, and then they get their pants pulled down and they lose the game. And then this game really looked like that was going to be
so close to being
it. So close. It was. I remember the key for me. That was pretty close all the way through. They had a little bit of a lead. I'm like, oh God, if we don't fix this up soon, they're going to run away with it. We fixed it up really quickly. We got it back nice and tight on the back of some Bawali Bales, like intensity. Got it back close. And really, the game we were down 77-78 with 1:56 on the clock. We get a steal over the top to Wani. Wani's going down the other end. He's going to put us up by 1 with 1:55 to go. Cheatham comes over, bang, block. They get it. They go down the other end. Then DJ, no neck, no good. Vasiljevic, who had an absolute stinker, but hits a big 3 at that moment, put them up 4. Just a massive momentum. And it just took, like, we weren't out of the game, but it just, knowing that you were down troops, it just takes the life out of you and a little bit of confidence out of you. So they were up 4 with 1:36 to go. We had our chances still, but I felt that was the key to the game. Now,
I hate that stat.
This stat,
I hate it.
I'm going to give it to you, Matt, because I feel like I'm the one who says it all the time. It's this Adelaide curse.
Again, still cannot beat Adelaide under Justin Tatum. Ever since he has taken over, when we had our 2 and our 7, we have now lost 8 in a row against Adelaide. They've won 13 of the last 14 against us. And now in history, it stands at 19-25. That's dating back to 2015.
So that's not complete history, but down back to like recent history. So the last 10 years, 19 Hawks wins, 25 Adelaide wins in the last 44 games. Now, if you take out that last stat, they've won 13 of the last 14. That at one stage we were 18-12. Well, so we were dominating them. We owned Adelaide, and all of a sudden something switched, and 13 out of the last 14.
Bryce Cotton. That's what happened.
That's crazy. Yeah, but Bryce has only joined them this.
Last year we swept.
Like they just seemed to be owning us. And they were in that 13 and the 14. I remember they weren't even that good a couple of years, and they just seemed to beat us. And it's 8 in a row though. 8 in a row. Wow.
That was just a sweep last season. It'll be the sweep this season, and it'll be at least 2 games before that.
It just hurts. But there were some really key and like pleasing performances in that game. I really think that was, and a lot of people who I've listened to on group Facebook pages and stuff, Hawks fan pages, have said they think that's the best they've seen the Hawks play this season. And I have to tend to agree. They were a pleasure to watch. Even though we lost, everyone left thinking, you know what, that's how we play Hawks basketball. Everyone played for each other. When someone was on the ground, I remember Hickey got knocked to the ground. 4 guys came off the bench to go and pick him up. Now, I think that says a lot. But I'm going to let you run through some of the stats.
QJ Peterson, our man, Pulp Nonfiction. The family is over. The family is over from good old West Virginia. And he dropped A
Mountain
beautiful
Mama.
21, 3 and 2. Wasn't really for the defensive end, but we'll talk about the defensive absolute menaces in a second. But he was the anchor that held us down. Without that, we would have been blown out. We would have been blown out and it would have been game over.
And I'm going to say, though, about QJ, one thing, and I looked over his dad a couple of times too, and I think he was thinking the same. This was a game for him. Like at the end of the game, especially, you're the man, bro. We want you to take the shots. We don't want you throwing dimes down the middle of the thing to Meso Peatley.
Turnover.
We want you like to be a little bit selfish in those moments, and
Take
we'll live and die. Like, yeah, we were down by 3, 81-78, and you went for a rocket pass down the middle. I'd rather you take the 3. Like, I think he was great. He came up with some big plays and kept us in the game. But I think in those key moments, he needs to just say to himself, like, this is my time.
Wani, our man Wani, finally, Dave Simonite, your man has absolutely crushed your hopes and dreams. I'm really, really, really looking forward to my big tangs in not even 2 weeks now. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to my Bali big tangs. But my man Wani, 19 points and 6 rebounds. He absolutely killed it. And he anchored this team from beginning to end. I don't think there was a second where he was off the floor. And if he was, it was only for 5 minutes while Dan Greeder was on, who, mind you, absolutely killed it with 11, 2, and 1 in the 12 minutes that he played, Corey. 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Like,
that's a point a minute almost.
But, he just gives so much energy in that. Like, I always wonder, like, why you take him off. But then I sort of think maybe he's just, like, absolutely so gassed because he just gives absolutely everything. But one thing I want to say about Wani is, like, usually he's just there as a lockdown guy. But he did both things this time. Like, he was a two-way player, 19 points, 6 rebounds, but, like, restricted
Cotton,
arguably the best player in the NBL ever, and definitely this season, to 16, 2, and 7. Cotton, he made him look like he still came up with big plays. That's Cotton. He's always going to do it. But to restrict him when the Hawks were definitely undermanned to only 16 points was an incredible effort.
Now, I've heard a stat, and I need someone to correct me in the comments below or send us a message on Instagram at the Hawks Hangout. But Cotton has not had a 30-point game at the Wynn Entertainment Centre since Wani has been guarding him.
Wow.
He's not had a 30-point game at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. He's had 30-plus points everywhere else.
In the league. Wow.
We've played them against Adelaide. We've played Adelaide in Adelaide, and he's blown us out. We've played Perth in Perth when he used to play for Perth, and he's blown us out with 40 points. But he's come back, and he has not had a 30-point game at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. And he was kept to quite a few low points early on.
Yeah, well, early on, because it was a Humphrey show early on. They took it because no McGee, they were like, let's take it inside. Humphreys, I think, had the first 10 points. But then after that, he only ended up with 16. So we even, nullified him as well. He had a 16, 6, and 4. Nice game from him. But when he had 10 points early, we were looking at each other going, Humphreys is on 40 watch. Yeah. And he only ended up with 16. But, some key things again, DJ Vasiljevic, he only had 7 points, but he did a huge 3 in the most important moment of the game. But also for the Hawks, Hickey, if we're looking at this game, we thought, are we any chance of winning this game? I would have said we probably need Davo to step up and have a big game points-wise, or Blanchfield come in and step up and do something spectacular, like hit 4 threes or something like that. Blanchfield had 0. Hickey only had 5 points, and he was on a donut for a long time. I think he got 5 points either late third and fourth, or maybe all of them in the fourth. And he ended up with 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Still decent stat line, but I would have thought if we're going to be competitive in this game without Harvey and McGee, we would have needed Hickey and Blanchfield to really lift. And we still got close without those two. Peeling out in a solid game, 8, 8, and 2. But Bawali was, he was great.
That's what killed them towards the end there. Adelaide just did not have answers for the absolute menace that Bawali was. And I don't know if it was the Grinch jersey, because he was just ready to absolutely steal the life out of people. Yeah. But he hits this massive steal. He forces turnovers. He hits a beautiful three,
Big
which
three.
actually put us up.
Yeah.
Put us up 77-76. And I go, here we go. We're in front. We can do this. We're in front now. We've got the momentum. We just need to keep going. And then they come back down. Humphreys gets another 2 points. We go back down the other end. It's Wani. It's the steal. QJ threads the needle over the top. We get it to
We had
Wani.
opportunities.
He's blocked. We had so
definitely
many
had
opportunities
to like steal that game. We just couldn't get it done. But you can't hold anything against Bales. He was 7-5-3, probably one of his better games as a Hawk and in his NBL career. Super impressive. I really love his attitude. I hope for the rest of the season if he starts to get more opportunities, because I feel like he's deserved it and he's done an amazing job. And I think he might be like a little Christmas Day special. I think he should maybe dye his hair green for that Christmas Day game and take on the persona of the Grinch and just be an absolute pest and make that Sydney Kings or Queens Christmas the worst it can ever be. But now we're going to look at that Christmas Day preview. Now, we have a great record in this fixture. We haven't lost on a Christmas Day. We're playing Kings, who are arguably the most informed team in the competition and probably the team that most commentators and so-called experts are saying are a real chance to win the championship. They've turned a corner. They've won 4 games in a row. Now, this game and Sydney and the Hawks rivalry is like etched in history, and it's got some great games there. But the last 14 games or 15 games, before the game that the Hawks got pumped at home this year, the Hawks won 6 in a row against the Kings. They hadn't lost before this season when they had Tatum. But before Tatum came, we lost to Sydney 8 times in a row. So really crazy. I hope that the loss that we had to Sydney, this isn't a start of another streak again. We can turn this around and be the real Grinches of Christmas and continue our 2-0 record on Christmas Day and make it 3-0. What do you think about this game? What are some of the key matchups?
The biggest matchup of all is them forwards. It is the forwards battle till the day you absolutely die. I don't care what Tim Suarez does. I don't care what the centers do. I don't care what Matthew Dellavedova's got to say. He can go back to Melbourne. He can go back to the NBA. I don't really give a crap about him. Kendrick Davis, you're a knockoff wish version of Bryce Cotton.
Ooh.
You've heard it here first. I don't even think he should be in MVP conversation. I think it's boosting your ego too much. But the guards, it's not really in that, because the guards are just going to give it to the forwards, because Corey, it's their 3 and 4 rotations that absolutely dominate at the moment for the Kings, whether it be Galloway, whether it be Noy, whether it be Bulwak Cole, whether it be arguably probably the best Australian power forward in the game at the moment, Xavier Cooks. And it kills me to say that, but
he's turned a corner.
He's turned a corner since last season.
He was ordinary at the start of this season, really, really bad. And it's no coincidence that the Kings are on a 4-game winning streak where his confidence is obviously
sky high.
He's knocking down free throws at a more respectable rate. He hit a half-court shot the other day. I'm like, geez, how does he hit that? And that just goes to show that he's feeling really good about himself. He's turned a corner, and much respect to him, because it's not easy as a basketball player when you're struggling mentally because you're just not performing the way you know you can. And he's turned a corner. The Kings, it kills me to say it, but they are looking the goods. I'm going to say I do really think that everything goes through Kendrick Davis. He's a ball-heavy point guard. He also can get really frustrated quite easily. If Wani can do a job on him like he did on Cotton, he's going to get frustrated. He takes some what I call poor shots, can frustrate the rest of his teammates. So I think that's the key matchup, because if Kendrick Davis is flying and getting his 20 points, he feels good about himself and the rest of the team and so forth. But if he doesn't, he's sort of like, oh, well, it needs to be all about me. I need to find a way to score because I'm not feeling like I'm contributing that style of player. And I feel like the start of the season, it didn't really work for him, but now he's sort of like felt like he's getting his points, whatever. It's all, everyone's feeling good about it. But it doesn't take much for it to go down. I think that's the key matchup, Wani, Kendrick Davis. Hopefully also we have Tyler Harvey back. I'm not too sure if you've heard any news about that. No news.
Nothing across my desk.
Hopefully Javale McGee is also back. The coach did say in the press conference that you will see him Thursday night. He was just ill the other night.
Hoping so.
And he will be back on Thursday. So
hoping so.
we hope that's the case, because I think if we're going to have any chance of beating the Kings, we're going to need our full complement. And even if that full complement means those two guys don't play as many minutes, and then we get those other guys who proved the other night that they can play, get a chance to play a little bit more and see if we can knock off these Sydney Queens. But they do look very, very hard to beat at the moment. And I'm pretty sure Tatum, he likes to take that persona of the Grinch too on Christmas Day. And I think he'll have him up for this one. And
we can't lose it. We can't. You lose it, we're done.
I'm optimistic of a Christmas miracle. So we could knock off, I did say previous podcast that if we could win one more game this season, it would either be the Hoops Fest one in Perth or this Christmas Day game.
This one means more.
Yeah, it's just, I think it mean a lot just to knock the Kings off their perch, but they're coming off and I'm actually not going to lie, I loved it. When I saw they absolutely pumped Cairns. I was worried about the game. If they would have lost to Cairns, they would have been up for this game massively. But they absolutely pumped them, cruised through, won by like 40, I think it was. It was a ridiculous scoreline. And one stage it was quite close. They absolutely punished them. I'd rather that. So they come in thinking, oh, yeah, like the Hawks are absolutely struggling. We've got this. It's a massive mental game. The Hawks can just – we all know the Hawks are capable. It's just that they got to get it together. And we also know the Kings are also capable of like imploding. So it's anything can happen. Christmas Day, you know, it's a great way to finish the Christmas after you got a full belly, after lunch, dinner, 8:30. I know it's a late tip off, but no one's doing much at 8:30.
I'm making that dreaded drive, mate.
Are you going?
I'm making the dreaded drive up there to go watch it.
Wow.
Making the dreaded drive. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I don't think.
Have you got your ticket?
I don't need a ticket, mate.
Oh, media pass.
I'm media all the way.
Are you going by yourself?
We'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll sit in the nosebleeds. Okay. I'll sit in the nosies. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, let's move on now to our favourite segments. We're going to start with Are You Serious? Now, got a few little nominees this week, and I want you to tell me what you think is the biggest Are You Serious moment of this episode. So the first one is that game against Melbourne, 8 points in the fourth quarter, and I swear to God, 6 of them came in the last 2 minutes. We were 2 points for about 8 minutes. I was like actually looking at the team going, are you actually serious? So the absolute folding in the fourth, that's the first Are You Serious? The next one, the great mystery of Toddy Blanchfield. Are you serious? In the last 3 games, 2 donuts, and then in the middle of those 2 donuts, an incredible game against Melbourne where you actually performed the way that I thought, like, this is what we're going to get from Toddy. A little 12-7, absolutely perfect. But it's just, is it the Win Entertainment Centre the curse? Is it
maybe we need to start playing at the Snake Pit to 1,000 people again.
Maybe, because
I'll do it.
Like every time I say it, I think it's just going to turn around. Maybe it's going to be Christmas Day.
Maybe
it's Christmas Day.
Maybe.
That's my second Are You Serious? Next one. Are you absolutely serious? This is a good one. Wani Swaka Bullet. Swaka lockdown. 19 points and locking down Cotton, only keeping him to 16 points. That was an absolute Are You Serious moment. We were absolutely loving it. He was dropping threes. It was Euro stepping through the key, finishing. If he would have just made that, it was a tough one. I know he got blocked by Cheatham. If he would have made that, would have got him a 20-piece and really given us a huge chance to win that game. But spectacular Are You Serious performance from Marnie after a couple of games where he was a little bit non-factor offensively especially. All right, and our last are you serious moment is I noticed against Adelaide, we all heard McGee was out, but we were sort of looking and he wasn't even at the stadium. So I was a little bit like, are you serious? Like, what's going on? I knew all we knew at that stage was that he got like the scratch on his eye, which happened, and it didn't look great. I'm not going to lie, against Melbourne. And I thought, but Harvey got sore back injury. He was still there. I was wondering, like, well, why is McGee not there? Like, are you serious? Like, what's this like saying here? Like, I don't really know. But what's your are you serious moment of the week?
As much as I really want to give it to McGee, because it was something that I pointed out, I really didn't think it was fair on the team that he wasn't there. You've seen poor Sam Frawling all season sit behind the bench, regardless of what has happened. Jonah Bolden, before he's departed the team, has sat behind the bench every single game through his injury. Sam Frawling has been there, been a vice captain, co-captain throughout all of this season, throughout all of it. And it's probably killed him to sit there and watch the game, knowing that he's probably capable of going back out there, but knows that he's got to rest himself so he's back at 110% and not 80 when we're losing games. And it's probably killed him. For McGee to stay at home, which we all saw his Instagram story, he was at home, he had a vomit bag, he was trying to rest, trying to get the electrolytes back up, trying to rest himself. I can understand. It's been taxing on him. He's 37. He's, getting older. He's 7 foot. His body is completely different to my 5'10" stature. Like, he's going to adjust differently to Australian weather than he's going to adjust differently to American weather. He's used to cold at this time, and now he's experiencing 40+ degree days plus long haul flights to Perth and back. I can understand if he's sick, but if it's not infectious and it's not viral for your other teammates,
that's the only reason I'm thinking it had to be there. It had to be.
Apparently, it was a stomach bug. I got told it was a stomach bug.
It had to be, and also, like, if you're going to be vomiting every 3 seconds, you don't want to be at the game and go vomiting everything. So I get it. If he was ill, great.
I get that.
You don't want him to be
up and down,
impacting his teammates. So, like, no issue with that.
No issue.
All right.
But
so what is? Are you saying that? What is?
I said that it's not.
Okay. So what are you going to go with?
I want to bring some positivity back.
Ooh.
My man Wani. I got to give it to him. I got to give it to my boy Wani. He's been absolutely great this season. I've loved seeing him that game. Just really put the Hawks on his shoulders, epitomizing what it means to be a Hawk.
I love it.
I loved it. I loved it.
I would love to see Wani. I'd love to see Wani in NBL 1. I reckon if Wani could get in NBL 1 anywhere, if it was with us, it'd be great. But anyway, I think he could actually dominate NBL 1, have a more offensive mindset, like attack, play a similar style to what he did in that Adelaide game where he had a little bit more chance to score because we didn't have the other guys there. I think he would be great. He's great size. Like, obviously in NBL, like, he's not a big guy. But in NBL 1, his size will be like, it's a bit like Toddy Blanchfield. Toddy Blanchfield's not a huge guy, but he's deceptively big when you see him in an NBL 1 team. Like that 6'7", 6'8" sort of height. That's like where he's at. And that in the NBL 1 is like a height where you can actually dominate at both ends.
Yep.
Get a bunch of rebounds, be disruptive defensively. You saw Toddy Blanchfield was like blocking shots left, right, and centre.
Almost triple-double watch every single game.
NBL 1. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'd love to see Wani. If it's with us,
dare I say it now?
Look out. If it's with us, look out. I think he could be like a 20-10 sort of guy. Like, he's not really an assist sort of dude, and he could also, which would give, he'd lock down because the talent, not bad. NBL 1 is great. But
NBL 1 East.
There's no Bryce Cottons in NBL 1 East.
But there's Bryce Cotton-esque teams, and you look at Canberra. Canberra was a prime example.
Yeah, but there's no individual player. So if Wani can lock down the greatest player in NBL history, he's going to have no trouble locking down the best player in any team in NBL 1 East. So that's what I'm just saying. Anyway, I love that. Are you serious? Because massive respect to Wani.
Massive respect.
Next segment. Yeah, nah. I'm going to throw a couple at you.
Okay.
And I want to hear what you think. Now, there's been some rumors out there. McGee, Fanito, Dunsky. He's not going to play another game for the Hawks. Yeah? Nah.
It's hard. It's hard to argue with what we're hearing, but then it's also hard to argue with other things that I've been hearing. I'm going to take the negative side. I'm going to say he is going to see his contract out. He is going to play again, but I don't think it's going to be the minutes that he was playing.
Okay.
That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave it.
We'll wait and see. Well, the coach did say we'll see him on Thursday, so hopefully we do.
Don't you lie to me.
Now, next one. Yeah, this might fire up a little bit. Now, there was talk that Frawley might be back for Christmas Day. I don't know if you've heard any more about that. That was the scheduled date, and we did see like a video put out today from the Hawks, like a little 7.5 minute little story about Frawley, how he's going in his rehab and his life and so forth. And it was great listen, actually, like talking about
beautiful
how he's focusing on like getting stronger, like using this opportunity, like something that was a negative, trying to turn it positive, work on parts of his game. He says he's heavier, but a good heavier. So that means he's put on muscle weight. He's bigger in his chest, which he said he was always his weakness. He's worked on his shot with Matty Flynn, and it feels a lot smoother. So these are all exciting things. And he says he can't wait. And he almost got a little bit like teary when he said about hearing my name getting called out again. He goes, it's just a great place to play. And it's exciting. But I'm going to throw it out there. With the season, we're 6-12, and I know you still have hopes of us, and we'll talk a little bit about this in the next segment, of us being still a chance to make that top 6. But do you, with what you saw against Adelaide as well, where these guys had a real big crack and could give these young kids a chance to really make a name for themselves in the NBL, do you put Froling on ice till next season? Yeah, no.
Nope.
Okay.
I think if he's ready to come back, you bring him back. You're not going to know if he's ready to come back or not until you actually give it a go. If it's on minute restrictions, sure, it's on minute restrictions, but it's minute restrictions when we've got no other options. No one's been able to come up against him yet. They don't know what he's going to be like. If he can stretch the floor, like he's saying in that video, and knock down that 3 like he used to, mate, I'd be chucking him in at the 4, because I think the original.
Can I say this? If he does come back, and I would love him to come back, but I'm sort of thinking in my head, I'd hate for him to get injured again. I think if you're a basketball player, if you're any professional sports player, and you're ready to play, yes, you should play. But I think it's almost a perfect way to come back. There's not going to be much pressure on him. He goes, if he comes back and we're still not doing that great, well, it can't be his fault because we weren't great before.
No.
But if he comes back and makes a little difference, well, that's great. So it's not like he's coming back. Say he brought him back, we were top of the table, and he had 4 losses, and then we lose 8 straight. Then we go, why? Froling's messing the whole chemistry up.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I feel like this is the perfect moment for him to come back. Obviously, he's wishing that we were winning a little bit more, but I think for him as an individual, it's the perfect thing. Like you said to me the other day, Southeast Melbourne signed Ian Clark, and they got rid of Maldonado, who I wasn't a huge fan of, but I thought he's actually doing quite well. I was
drops 18 points.
I was ready to eat my words, and the team's doing really well. It's really weird. But now if Ian Clark comes in, I really like Ian Clark. I always said I wish he was at the Hawks. Yeah, but I feel like but I know he's the sort of player who precious nothing to him. Yeah. But if he comes in and they go, people are going to say, oh, why'd you change it for? So you were going, well, why change a good thing? It's a bit like the Bulldogs in the rugby league. Like they were killing it, and then you bring in Lockie Galvin, and so the pressure was on the kid. You put pressure on him. That's what I'm talking about in this scenario. I don't think Froling has any of that pressure. So I like your answers to those two.
Right,
my man. And now we're going to go to our next.
At least we didn't taste a
segment.
wooden spoon this year. It's all right.
Well, it's not over yet.
We didn't lick the wooden spoon.
It's
mate.
not over yet. We might get it. No spoon talk. Now, next segment, hashtag and all the rest of it.
Surprisingly, I haven't said it this week. I have
I know,
not
you
said
haven't
it this
said it.
week.
Ever since we started this thing, it's eased off a bit. Like,
Yeah.
it's disappointing, but I love it. Tell me all the rest of this. Now, I think, and we've talked about a lot of people who we know who know basketball. We're in like group chats and stuff. We like to talk to people who know the Hawks and are passionate about the Hawks, and they believe that the Hawks recruitment stuffed up this year. Like, it wasn't great. I know we had injuries and those impacted us, but the recruitment wasn't great after a championship season, and the proof is in the pudding, Christmas pudding maybe. So we haven't done well.
No.
So we need to look for next year. And I know it's still 15 games to go this year, but we need to get on the front foot. And there was something that came out not that long ago where our man Antonio Cleveland, one of my favorite imports of all time, great two-way player, great size, the kind of guy who we are missing this season, said, I'd love to come back and finish my career in the NBL. This is a guy who's absolutely killing it in Europe. Like, wow. And he goes, I want to play for Adelaide or Illawarra. Now, man,
Adelaide
are killing it. They're not going to be looking to make changes.
They've just signed Zylan Cheatham, which is the perfect position that AC plays. So
get in there now, off that comment, and start saying,
sign him now. Sign him now. This is the thing, Corey.
We want you. This is a weak position for us. We can build around it. Harvey's going to become a naturalized player. We can get another import. We can.
But you do that now. You do that now. Bryce Cotton's been naturalized.
You get Cleveland now, and then you look later for your import point guard, because I do think we need an import point guard. I said at the start of the year, it's very hard for teams.
We've got one.
We
have one.
Championships. It's very hard to win championships without an import guard. I know Hickey deserved his chance, and he's been given it, but I think it's been proven that. And there's nothing wrong with this. Hickey's still a great player. He's played for Australia. But players have made careers and livings out of being a sixth man. There's nothing wrong with being a sixth man. You don't have to start. You finish.
It's how you finish games.
And Hickey's the sort of guy. I feel like Hickey can make a career and earn very similar amount of money being that great sixth man coming off the bench and really lifting the second unit and being on in key moments near the end of games. But you still need that dominant point guard, American point guard, Tyson Walker style guy who is distribute first, but if he's needed to, he can deliver, score, like play good defense. That's what I think the Hawks need. So tell me all of the rest of it. I know I heard you nodding. Like, what do you think about what I just said?
I don't think the money for what we're getting out of Javale McGee at the moment, fantastic. That's great. Awesome. Congrats on you for averaging a double-double every single game.
But Bruce, we're not winning.
We're not winning. There's clearly something going on either behind closed doors or on the court.
It's not a centers league either. Like it's a
guard league. It's a guard league.
We've said this all along.
Top three at the moment: Kendrick Davis, Bryce Cotton, Nathan Sobey in MVP voting. Yeah. It's because they carry their teams because they're averaging 30 points a game.
But that's the way that the league is, and you can hear it in the frustrations of McGee. He goes, it's very different to play here. He goes, when I play overseas, the rules are that it's one-on-one. If I get a catch inside, they can't come and double team me.
No.
They're not like, you can't play zone where you got someone standing on the thing and like, they can't do this to me.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of whinging and a lot of victimization.
The way that he's getting like defended, it's obviously frustrating him. It's frustrating the team. It's sort of making us really cloggy. Like he's not getting to play the way that he normally plays, even though he's still getting great stats. But is it conducive to winning basketball for the Hawks?
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to lie, I've absolutely loved watching him play. Like, and it's very similar to like LaMelo Ball. I love watching him play. We had an absolute shocking season when he played, but I loved watching him play. And I'm always going to remember the games that he had. Same with McGee. There's nothing on him at all. But I'm saying, as a Hawks fan who wants to see our team win and be competitive, you need to build a roster that is going to be conducive to being competitive. And he's even said himself that the rules of the NBL aren't necessarily conducive to him
No.
being happy and being able to do what he wants to do. So
No.
it's a tough one.
It is a tough one, but the money that we've spent on him, regardless of what it is, because he's obviously on a chunk of change that we've then had to go with 7 different import point guards and change constantly, and then elevate DPs and then not elevate DPs and start injury reserve players. We should have spent that money on retaining Trey. And I'm sorry, we should have, because he'd probably be on 1 to 1.5 in China at the moment. Give him the 1.5. Whatever he was on,
That's big.
whatever he was on, lock him down. Lock him down. He absolutely killed it. He is the reason why we won it last year, because it allowed Tyler Harvey to play his game, because both of them were shooting the 3 consistently.
Yeah.
It allowed Todd to play his game because he wasn't having to worry about making those shots when he came on the court. He was passing the ball to Wani, and Wani could play his game. He was passing it inside to Sam, and Sam, knowing the league, knew what to do and get it inside. The thing is, I feel like it's so much focused on McGee at the moment, where if we had, and just bear with me with this slight change, it's just a slight change, but I feel like it could change our entire season. You put Hickey back on the bench. We saw it in that game. We saw it in that Adelaide game. I don't care if he had 5 points. He had 10 rebounds and he had 7 assists. That's what you need. Delhi doesn't have 50 points. He doesn't have 30 points. He has 5, but he's constantly averaging a double-double in rebounds and assists because he's dishing it out. He's getting it to his teammates as a good Australian point guard does. Put him back on the bench. He did not almost win 6th man of the year last year for no reason.
But I also think that Hickey being a starter means you face better defenders when you're on the court. So when he was a 6th man and we make changes and the other team has to make changes and bring on their bench, that was our strength last year. We had a strong bench. And so he was coming up against...
We've still got a strong bench. Look at it in that Adelaide game. We have a strong bench. He's got to trust it more.
But I'm talking about like the way who Hickey is, like he's now focus of teams. Like before he would have been like not so much so, and they teams are going to be like, well, we got to make sure we have a great defender on Trey Kell. Got to make sure we have a great defender on Tyler Harvey. So Hickey is probably getting like the 3rd string defender, and he's shown that he's capable. He can get to the bucket. He can play. So, but this year it's not so much that way. So that's why I really think it's important for us to get that import guard who can play point guard, because it just opens it up for Hickey. It makes him a better player.
It does.
So it may not mean that his stats are going to be as big, and his stats might at the end of this year show that he's got better stats, but similar to McGee, better stats don't necessarily equate to more victories. And I said that last year. When you asked me if we have a chance of having an MVP, and I said I'd rather the Hawks not have the MVP, because if you have the MVP, you're probably not necessarily playing winning basketball.
Nope.
Like that player might be getting their team wins, but not necessarily like making them a championship threat.
No.
So
I feel like with that one change, though, you take him out, you put QJ in there, you put QJ at the 1, you put Tyler at the 2, Wani stays at the 3. If Sam's healthy, by God all means, just put him in at the 4 and you run McGee at the 5. And if not, you take McGee out, McGee can come off the bench, put Sam back in at the 5. Then they've got to worry about McGee coming off the bench, and you put Peatling back in at the 4, and you run it back exactly how it was last year.
And then again, that would be matchup disaster for other teams, because I actually saw a team, I think Cairns did it against us. They didn't even start Marcus Lee against McGee, and then Cairns kept it tight, and then McGee had to come off, and then Marcus Lee comes on, and it's like a little bit easier. So if McGee's coming on when they've got the 2nd string 5 on, like he should be able to dominate. So I don't mind that idea if we can get that going. But
are we better without him though?
Yeah, and all the rest of it. Are we better without McGee? Now I know it's a very small sample size because we only played that one game. But one thing I'm going to say is it was visibly noticeable that the rest of the team put more effort in.
Mm-hmm.
So the chemistry was there. Was it because they know they had to lift? they had to like put more effort in to be a chance? I don't know. Or is it because there's some sort of like, I don't know, do they all get along with him? Is there something there? I'm not too sure. But I don't really want to go into it too much.
We'll wait and see.
I don't want to be controversial.
We will wait
but
and
our last
see.
little thing. Now, I know you really think that we are still some hope of making.
Oh my God, here we go.
I didn't know this. So I've done before you got here, mate. I ran through the rest of our schedule and thought, okay, Corey, like we're 6 and 12. You know it's really over, but you want to be the optimist, even though it's not really inside of you. But Sam, your co-host, is a big-time optimist, and he's going to say even if we played Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls at their peak, we're still a chance. This is what we're looking at for the rest of the season. So we're 6 and 12, 18 games in, 15 to go. Okay. This is what we've got. We've got Tassie 3 times. We've got Sydney 3 times. We've got Perth twice, New Zealand twice. We've got SEM, Cairns, Adelaide, and Melbourne only one more time. So Adelaide and Melbourne only one more time each is good because Melbourne is going to be top of the up there. Adelaide are top of the table. So those 2 only one more time, great. I'm going to throw it out there with all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 5 most important games for us are the 3 against Tassie and the 2 against New Zealand because they are the biggest rivals for us sneaking that 6th spot.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, Tassie are 8 and 11, I believe, so they're 2 wins ahead of us. While New Zealand, I think it might be 7 and 12, so they're 1 win ahead of us. If we just win those games.
Depends on who wins tonight, but if we're going off what it is at the moment,
just us what we can do, we can control.
Yep.
All right. If we beat Tassie 3 times, that means Tassie's going to have minimum 14 losses.
Yep.
And surely they're going to lose other games as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like I'm hoping like I said before, we can get to 15 and 18. They might slide in there. So they only need 4 more losses to be in that thing.
Yeah, okay.
And you think they're going to get 4 more losses other than those 3. New Zealand would be the same. They'd go to 14 losses as well if we beat them. Those 5 wins would get us to 11. Then we don't have to sneak 4 other more wins. So I think if you want to beat those teams who are near and around you, they're the most important ones.
Yep.
Right. If you lose to those teams, they're like double losses because they're getting further away from you, and it's hard to catch. If you're losing to like a Melbourne Adelaide, yeah, it hurts because it's still a loss. But they're on top of the table. We're not catching them. Let's be realistic. If you beat them, they're a bonus win. But if you can get those 5 and then pick up a win against Sydney, pick up a win against Perth, pick that win up against Cairns, all right, that's another 8 wins. We get to all of a sudden we're at 14 wins.
Doing it now.
One more win. You can pick up SEM. We've done all right against SEM. All right, and pick up an upset against someone, then you get year 15. But I think the 5. And when I say it's not going to be easy to beat Tassie 3 times and New Zealand twice, I just think they have to be our must-win games, those 5.
Right, let's have a look. Let me go through this. Okay, let's go through this. So starting from this round, if Breakers beat Brisbane, Melbourne beat Tassie, Adelaide beat Cairns, we beat Kings, Breakers beat Tassie, Melbourne beat Brisbane, Adelaide beat Perth, Phoenix beat Tassie, Kings beat Bullets, we beat Tassie on New Year's, Phoenix beat Cairns on New Year's Day, Wildcats win, January 2nd, Adelaide win, January 3rd, we win against Cairns, January 3rd, Melbourne win against Tassie, Wildcats win, Adelaide win, Phoenix win.
You're not doing this for the whole season. This will be the longest episode ever.
Oh, let me get there. Let me get there, and let me
forever. It'll take forever.
Right. Let me get my hopes up. Let me get my hopes up.
Why are you doing your is this a ladder prediction thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ramble
while he's doing his ladder prediction, I personally think the Hawks are going to struggle to make the top 6. But if we're being optimistic and positive and hope that things can happen, there's always hope. I do think you need to get 15 wins. 15 and 18, I think will get you into that 6th position. If they can somehow focus on those 3 games against Tassie, 2 games against New Zealand because they're the 2 teams I think are going to be fighting for it. I think Cairns and Brisbane are done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that we're not done. We're done. We could be done as well. We could still get the wooden spoon. But I'm saying I'm not too worried about Brisbane and Cairns jumping us and getting up to that 6th position. I think it's going to be the New Zealand or Tassie. So they're the games I think we really have to win just to give them those extra losses because they're going to get losses elsewhere as well. It's that simple. And if Tassie are 8 and 11, they only need 7 more wins. If they go 7 and 7 from now on, they get to it. So
there you go.
When you did your little predictions, what did you get, mate?
So when I have done it, I've got it the other way around, Corey. I've got it the other way around. I've got Adelaide 29 and 4.
Jesus Christ.
Melbourne.
I said no one would even get 20 wins. So you've got 4 teams.
29 and 4. They're on 15 and 4 at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
29 and 4. Melbourne 23 and 10.
Getting 20 wins, yeah.
Southeast Melbourne 21 and 12. Perth 20 and 13. I've then got Sydney 19 and 14. And then I've got us sneaking in there with what you've said, plus a few sneaky upsets. But hey, a few more losses, 18 and 15. I can see us pulling a few out and then losing, and then pulling a few out and losing.
Now there's Christmas miracles, and then there's Christmas miracles. 18. You've got us 18 and 15.
18 and 15. That's not hard. It's not hard.
That is hard.
It's 12 games.
That's 12 games. So
12
from now,
games.
you've got us going 12 and 3 from now.
No.
Yeah, because we're 6
8.
and we're 6 and 12. So from this moment on, we're going 12 and 3.
Yep. That's 6 wins to 1 loss. It's done.
This
Easy.
guy. And then I saw here Tassie were 11 and 22. That's not happening. That means they're losing every game from there.
11 and 22. Tassie.
They're 8 and 11.
They're 8 and 11.
No, but look at what you had them as. Go back. Yeah, you got them traditionally on 11 and 22, so not winning another game.
No.
I love this guy. But we're going to wrap it up there. This guy. Ultimate optimist. I love it. I love it. Wrap it up for us, big dog.
It's been an absolute hell of a year. We have ridden the highest of highs into the absolute lowest of lows, but the optimism, the hope.
When there's life, there's hope.
The Hawks Hangout boys are still putting out quality episodes.
Ho, ho, ho. Santa Claus is coming to town.
You just know that something special is about to hit this town, whether we like it or not, whether it be a loss, whether it be Santa Claus, whether it be an absolute beautiful night on New Year's Eve at Market Street, at the Illawarra Hotel, watching the fireworks at midnight. Who knows? Who knows at that silent disco? I would love it because it's also our final game of the Ignite Cup, which we could also just be playing for at this stage, which we'll cover that next episode after what happens. But it's been absolutely amazing so far. 579 followers on Instagram, averaging 170,000 views every 90 days. Teeing up a contract at the moment with IBA, which is the Illawarra Basketball Association, to be one of their main media partners for the NBL 1 East upcoming season. We've got so much more content in store for you guys. It's been absolutely huge. And from the bottom of our hearts, Principal Brewing, Enable You To, 18th Dynasty, and everyone sitting here listening to these two ugly mugs talk absolute crap about Hawks basketball for the last 365 days. Thank you. We appreciate every single one of you. And Corey,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You filthy animals.
Filthy animals. Love it. Give us that shout out. The final shout. You have to do it. It's a tradition.
It's a tradition. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas, my brother. It's going to be great. We're going to win. We're going to sneak into the 6th or 7th spot. I don't know. But all I can say is Merry Christmas, everyone. And my Hawkies, fly your Hawks, baby.
Fly high. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Hang out wild and free. So